That was what I was told by a very senior person at the time of the establishment, or since the establishment, I can't remember.
Okay. On your statement, 17.2, paragraph 17.2, you are saying a lot about the PKTT being irregular. Which laws were violated by the formation of the PKTT?
It's not just, look.
Or is irregular in what sense?
It's irregular in terms of any detective team I've ever come across, because a detective team, by its very objectives, is composed of detectives. I mean, it stands to reason that you get someone who's a detective, and I've tried to give you an example of the sorts of structures that were in place after the end of apartheid.
So it's your contention that the 126 people you are concerned about as a number were without dictative capabilities?
Well, not senior, I gather, because the senior guy soon left. Initially there was a senior detective. I'm concerned about the number, because why do you need such a big number of people in one province? I mean, even the investigative task team had about 30 people in, I think.
But
it's necessary even.
Did you spend time as a researcher to make an inquiry about what is the work of the team of such a big size? Or you concluded that because in the past, teams were never constituted to such a number, therefore automatically this one is irregular?
Oh no, it wasn't the number per se. It was the strange structure of it, that you had it. As I said, it was not supposed to be. It was supposed to report nationally, and that wasn't maintained. But the province was the reports through the provincial commissioner, and with a senior detective overseeing the junior ones. That was the way it was set up. But then it soon changed.
So the irregular part is that it was reporting to the province or national. I didn't get you on that.
The reports to the national fell away, although it had been set up to be overseen through reports by the head of detectives now.
How did it fall away? Because you still have a coordinator who is occupying a national position, a substantive position at a national level.
Well, this is what I don't understand, because the man who took over from the first one was called Mkhwanazi. He occupied that position, and it's impossible to check because he died of poisoning, actually. But that's beside the point, but he's dead. And this can be canvassed about. I was told that the first one was very good and insisted on all the reports, so it's quite possible that he didn't bother to follow up. I don't know. I'm speculating. All I know is that I was told definitely that the reporting line ended with the deputy national.
We have been told by various witnesses who came before, especially from the police department, that one of the major value of having members of a task team coming from different parts of the country, and at times being changed regularly so that they don't stay too long in one area, is to protect them against local influence. And somewhere in your statement, you also make references to police being prone, and I'm paraphrasing you in this case, police being prone to corrupt activities or their conduct resulting in the state spending a lot of money on civil claims.
Well, they did.
So why do you see a problem then with the establishment of a team whose composition is also designed to mitigate against what we are complaining about as a usual practice in various...
It can be used for all sorts of purposes. It may be the ostensible excuse, but if you have, you can check the records of detectives. If they have a record where they've got high court convictions, where they do well, you're pretty safe with them. And some of those people were deployed initially to the task team, and they were removed the minute they started making uncomfortable, when I say uncomfortable, politically uncomfortable arrests, like the mayor of Newcastle, for example. The man who was seconded to that, who is an excellent detective, got out of it because they didn't want him, basically. And the charges were withdrawn against the mayor of Newcastle too, by whoever, prosecutor, whatever. But they were withdrawn and the witness died.
Okay, my last question, you are making reference, I think this is paragraph 17.1, when you were arguing that there was a let me just read it verbatim. On sentence number 2, as the task team that was being formed, the provincial team was securing a conviction for the murder of the Ramaphosa supporter whose name was top on the hit list, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever been a member of the ANC?
No. Oh, hang on. I joined very briefly, but I didn't stay. And that was in 1990 when one of my colleagues, the whole university was going mad on this. Oh, Mandela's out, you know, and you've been calling, because at one stage we had a petition calling for the release of Mandela in the 80s. How can you not join the ANC? All right, I said, but I didn't keep it up. I didn't renew it. I didn't go to meetings. I mean, it was... got out of all politics. I was still a member of the PFP, so I was a member of both of them, and I withdrew from both of them. It just was not appropriate for me.
Okay. And then how do we define a Ramaphosa support? Or well, how does an external person who's not in the ANC would define a Ramaphosa support?
Well, the people that were claiming this were very long-standing ANC people that said there were factions. So, and it was not just me. I mean, it was getting around everywhere. I mean, that there was this fierce competition between, it was about, you know, like most politics, it was about controlling resources, I guess, and for some people, idealism with it. You know, it's a mixture. Politics is like that all over the world. I mean, you know, you want to see a book that's written about British politics, how they broke Britain. I mean, it's not just here, the politics of politics.
No, you know why I'm asking this question is because the way you have framed it on your statement,
right.
you are not appropriating
all right. Okay.
This classification of that conviction to somebody else. You are writing as a first person.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm asking you, because in the statement you are not saying, I was told, I happen to be made aware, or anything of that sort, that therefore the person who was being convicted was a Ramaphosa supporter.
What's his name at top of the hit list? Somebody sent me the hit list that was alleged.
So somebody sent you a hit list, and the title of the hit list was Ramaphosa supporters.
Yeah, the hit list was circulating. It was even, I think, in the media that there was a hit list circulating. But I mean, his name was top of the list, and he got killed, and another one there was an attempt to kill, and then they got rid of the municipal manager who was in the wrong political camp. Yeah.
Okay. No, I wanted to understand that because I was a bit unsure what is meant by that, the way it is written on the statement. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Chief. Honorable Skosan. Thank you, Chair. I just heard Mr. Haas saying he was a member of PFP and the ANC. Quite interesting. But I wanted to find out, Mrs. Dehas, you know, because you wrote to the National Commissioner in February, and you were so lucky that you wrote a letter to a minister, and the minister disbanded the PKTT, your first letter.
Yeah, I mean, I was astonished. I hadn't expected it.
Yeah, hence I don't want you to go there, because remember, we went about being decisive, and, you remember, let's not go there. Now, why were you so pushing? What was your interest in this matter? Why were you involved in the police operational matters? What was your interest in all this issue of the police? And who's funding you? I'm just now trying to find out from you, because I hear you talking about resources and what. Who's funding you, Mr.
Nobody's funding me. Nobody has funded me since 2005, apart from whatever I get for writing academic articles that gets some money put into my research code that can only be used for academic activities. No one has funded me since 2005. That's the first thing. What drives me? Well, I don't know why it sounds so strange. I have a passion for justice, because I deal with people day in, day out. All they want is justice, and they're not getting it. So that's what's driving me, not the money. I'm paying myself for this. I'm risking my life for it.
So are you not working with any NGO or any civil society?
No, I'm not. I'm not a member of any of them at all. I mean, no. I don't really work with any of them. The only people I'm in is a Navi Pillay research group, I'm not teaching. I am part of being an honorary research fellow because I write academic stuff.
Yes, but my question is this. Are you not working with any NGO on your research? You are funding yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm independent.
Yes.
Completely independent.
So there's no one who's funding any of your work.
I'm not a member of, hang on a minute, let me just think. Nothing to do with NPOs. I mean, I interact with the local Amnesty International group because I've known them all for years. Okay. Who else? I mean, it's one thing to support people in an NPO, but I'm not involved in it.
Let me put it this way to you. Are you comfortable for your gadgets to be taken from you?
No, I'm not, because there's private information on that.
No, we will apply. We know how to do it. We'll get a court order.
But how dare you? I'm a private person. How dare you do this to me?
No, I'm asking. I'm asking. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. No. I'm saying, are you comfortable that if the police have to take your gadgets like any other one, because there's probing in here. So my question, I'm saying, are you comfortable?
I'm not comfortable because it's private. It's private family issues.
I understand that. And since I'm asking you, my follow-up question was simple. And you still did not respond on my question. I asked you, why are you involving yourself on police operational matters?
I've told you that because I care about justice. I care about people. One death is too much.
No,
I care about people.
All of us, we care.
I apologize for that.
Okay.
Please, may I ask, this is turning into a witch hunt of me.
No, let me...
And I'm objecting and I'm putting it on record.
Let me help you, both of you. Honorable Skosana and Dr. Dihas, the witnesses that appear before the committee are not suspects.
Yes.
That is the principle that we must always reiterate. And I don't think that it's fair, Honorable Skosana, to go to an extent of telling the witness that we know the procedure that we must follow in case we must apply for your gadgets to be confiscated from you or to be seized from you because we are probing. I mean,
She's not a suspect. Let's have a conversation with her.
Thank you, thank you, Chair. Hence, I was saying to her, it was a question. I've never said we are going to do that. Because remember, Chair, that was a follow-up question to say, why was he pushing so hard? What was the interest? Who's funding her? Other questions she answered me. But my follow-up question, why she did not answer me, is not personal, as I said, Ms. Diaz.
What am I not answering?
No, my question was simple. You said because you care, 1 death is too much. All of us here, 1 death, hence we are here. It's not only you. This privilege which we are talking about is not only exclusive to you.
You didn't say it was, did I?
Yeah, now I'm saying to you, it's not a threat. I was just asking whether are you comfortable? Because you said it's illegal. We can't do this. We can't. So I said to you, because I'm a lawmaker, I know if your gadget has to be taken, what must happen? I'm not a policeman. I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying to you, honestly speaking, your involvement is suspicious in the whole matter. Hence, I'm asking this for follow-up question. That you wrote 1 letter. The minister disbanded PKTT. And then you made a follow-up letter to the National Commissioner. Why was he not implementing it? Hence, I'm asking you, what was your interest?
Because it was a perfectly legal letter. I can't, as I said, I can't take responsibility. I had no idea that it would act this way. So how can you attribute blame to me for it? I mean, I didn't expect it. I've explained that. He did it. I can't help it if he took what I said into consideration. It's not my fault. I can't control how the minister handles. So.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've tried to explain this.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Yeah.
You were very lucky. You were very privileged, I must say. Thank you, Chair.
Matthews.
Just quickly, the letter that you wrote to the minister, Ms. Diaz, did anybody advise you on what to write in the letter? Was it the letter reviewed by anybody before you sent it to the minister? Because the wording, and we're asking that and it's a follow-up, is pretty much the same wording that the minister used in his letter of disbandment. And it also has information in there that I would have thought you wouldn't have been privy to, like the murder and robbery unit, etc. No. So the question is pretty much, did you write the letter on your own? You didn't have a discussion with anybody about it? No?
No,
okay, it's no, then that's fine.
I'll tell you what I did. I wrote the letter myself. I write my own letters. Yeah. The only letters I run past people are...
Okay, but did you just ask whether this one, did you run it past anybody? Yeah.
And I'm not sure what you mean about the information. The only thing I do is to, when I write letters for people, I don't know that I could have in this, it wasn't easy, but whenever I write letters for people, I get their permission and I give them a copy of it.
So but on this letter, Ms. Diaz, just did you say you wrote it and a draft? Did you send it to anybody to give input or review it? So it was just you and the information that you had and you sent it through. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable members. Doctor, let me just run 2 or 3 questions with Honorable Sean. No, you have said that you are not asking questions.
I didn't want the Mary Diaz to die on my hands, Chair, but I'm ready to ask my questions, Chair. Thank you.
May I just comment? You don't need to take my phones. I've had to cancel all the interceptions on them at least once. Illegal, of course.
I didn't get that, Danny.
Sorry, I said you wouldn't need to take my phone. I've already had to cancel all the interceptions on them.
That's Kosana who takes phones. Yeah.
I'm trying to make a joke of it, sorry. Just to ease the relationship between us.
All right. Goeienaand, Danny. Goeienaand. Do you speak Afrikaans?
Sorry?
Goeienaand. Do you speak Afrikaans?
Who?
Do you speak Afrikaans?
I speak a bad mixture. I speak a mixture of Afrikaans and Dutch. My husband was Dutch. I've lived in Holland, and I'm out of practice. I could speak Dutch fairly fluently at one stage, but But I mean, it became a mixture of Afrikaans and Dutch, and I understand very well, and I haven't practiced for years, as I found out when I was in Holland last time.
Okay. Quickly here, Ms. Diaz. You know, there is money that was budgeted for investigation on Premier Oscar Mabuyankulu. This is Mabuyankulu, ne? He was supposed to be investigated for his qualifications. So I think because the court has decided that we are no longer going to investigate him, would you mind if we take that opportunity, maybe put you in that slot and check your qualifications? Because something is not sitting well with me. Would you mind if we verify your qualifications?
You can check my qualifications.
Which
I have no problem.
Which are?
Sorry?
Which are? What are your qualifications? Just title.
I've got a social work degree. I've got an honours in anthropology, which is the equivalent of the type of course with masters now. I've got a research masters and a whole lot of publications. I've been told I could just take those publications and say, you know, they constitute a PhD. I just haven't bothered because it's not a big issue for me, but maybe I better.
Did you study to be a doctor? This doctorate, did you study for it, or it was given?
I was registered for a PhD, but I was doing so much.
Let me repeat the question, Doc. Sorry for that.
You asked me if I...
No, I want to know, did you study to be called doctor, or it was you being honored or appreciated?
I registered for a PhD that went on for so many years, and then I was awarded an honorary doctorate. Most of the stuff...
Okay, no, I got that. Thank you very much. I wanted that on record clearly that you were being appreciated. Now, do you know Paula Sullivan?
Vaguely. He contacted me. I've had no dealings with him. What did he contact me about?
Don't know about it.
I know what it was. He wanted to know what I knew about the police killing people. Okay. That's what he contacted me about. I don't collaborate with him, if that's what you want.
No. Okay. Do you notice the similarities between you and Paula Sullivan? The fact that you both are running SAPS officials, but you're not part of it, you've never been trained, you're not even authorized to even enter. Do you notice the similarities?
Listen.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, there the similarity ends. I have worked with the police for years and years and years.
And does that authorize you to instruct a commissioner, a sitting commissioner?
I've never...
or a minister per se?
I requested the minister.
Yes. Okay, you've been a teacher before, right? You've been a teacher. You have been a teacher before. Were you a teacher?
Me? I was a lecturer at the university. Yes.
Help me here. What is a verb? Help me here. What is a verb?
What is a?
A verb.
Verb?
A verb.
A verb.
Please help.
A verb.
Verb, yes.
A doing word.
It's a doing word. What did the minister do concerning to your 1.1?
But we've been through this.
Yes, I just want a straight answer. That's why I'm making it easy for you. What did the minister do? I'm asking in terms of a verb. A verb is a doing word.
Please.
So let's go there. Let's check what did the minister do there. The minister was instructed to disband PKTT, or was instructed to instruct the national commissioner to immediately disband. What did the minister do? Answer the following question.
We disbanded it. I'm not sitting here disputing the fact that he disbanded it, am I?
Do you take credit for that?
Pardon?
Do you take credit for that? No, that you did very well.
Because I don't know if there were any... I cannot speak for the minister. How can I take credit?
No, I'm just asking in terms of your letter. Do you take credit?
Like I contributed to it. I don't know if it was more than me or not.
Okay, Danny, calm down, Danny. Calm down.
You're asking me for evidence, and I can't give you evidence.
No, I'm not asking for it. I'm just asking about your letter. Do you think?
Yes,
do you take credit for your letter? Do you think your letter did something well?
Well, it seems to have influenced him if he referred to it.
I appreciate that.
But what I'm saying to you is, I don't know what else influenced. I'm not privy to it.
Do you think Minister Mkhwanazi is corrupt? Do you think Minister Mkhwanazi is corrupt?
Well, I start with the assumption that almost everybody in politics is corrupt and they have to prove otherwise. Sorry about that. And they are sometimes proven otherwise.
Do you think he must be fired?
Sorry. No, look, I'm being a bit cynical there. I don't. He may or may not be. I have absolutely no idea.
Do you think he must be fired?
I don't see any reason to fire him. He was doing sensible things. He made enemies because he was also trying to clamp down on gun control.
Okay, that's very good. That's very good. Tell me this. How credible are ANC members?
Very varied.
Sorry?
Very varied.
Very credible.
Like all the politics in this place. You've got ones and you've got...
Let me repeat how credible do you think ANC members are?
How can I generalize when they're so... I mean, there's very good, credible ones, and there's some that are absolutely corrupt.
So...
It's like all politicians. You get a whole range of good and bad.
There's a range of good and bad. So you're saying in the ANC there's good and bad?
Well, I think so. I wouldn't like
and
to...
you are...
generalization like this.
And you are privileged that only the good ANC credible members come to you and give you information about the death of councillors in the KZN areas.
No, not only them, because some people, I have no idea where they stand in the ANC. The people who tell me about people who died.
I'm asking you this because you said the political killings were based on Zuma. And I struggled to find facts on that because there was a DA councillor that was shot. There was an NFP councillor. There was an IFP councillor. So how is that connected to Zuma? Were this coming from the credible ANC members? Was this info coming from them?
What do you mean, the political killings team?
Yes.
It came from
not the team.
It came from Clearly, and I think he...
No, I'm asking the people who died. You said ANC members gave you information.
Who died.
Sorry?
There's the range of people that died. Most parties, NFP, IFP, ANC.
So you said they died because Zuma was involved. How did you say that?
That was the specific municipal elections I referred to, when the competition was really fierce.
Okay.
I'm not talking generally the people of all political parties that are dying. When the NFP broke away from the IFP, there were a lot of killings between IFP and NFP. The situation varies according to the context of the time.
I'm worried, Danny. I want us to finish because I don't want you to die on my hands. I want to go to heaven. Serious. Tell me this, Danny.
Honorable.
Sorry for that. I withdraw, Chair.
Yeah, you must withdraw that statement.
Tell me this, Danny. In your own judgment, General Mkhwanazi and General Sibiya, if I may add, Officer Makhubu, whom you spoke about, who's an honest police officer or who's credible between the three of them, according to you? Makhubu.
Without a doubt.
And how did you come to that determination?
Because I saw how he'd done his work in various cases.
So did you go with him to work in many places?
No, look, I'm sorry, this is wandering right off. I mean, I have helped Makhubu recently because he's under threat of death.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
And I knew him when he was doing investigations and he showed real care for his witnesses, that they were properly treated, that they were in. So I've worked with him on and off for years, but recently he is in danger of being killed. They broke into his house one night, and it wasn't a break-in, it was a...
So ma'am, if I may ask...
And threats he's followed, and it's all the me.
You're saying to me a police officer with a gun came to you because he fears that his life is in danger, and then told you whatever information so that you can take the very same information back to SAPS where he should have taken it.
I didn't say Makubu did it.
What did Makubu do that is so good? What did Makubu come to you?
He's got a record in the Hawks of cash in transit successes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He came to me initially because he needed help for,
And how did you help him?
It's got to do with
how did you help him? Okay, let's make it short, ma'am. How did you help Makubu?
He had a witness that he was scared was going to be let out of protection,
yes,
and that they were about to kill him.
How did you help him?
I helped him by writing to the Witness Protection Program and saying, will you please be sure that this witness is properly relocated because there are plots to kill him.
And what did they do?
They did.
They did exactly that.
Yeah.
Per your request.
Because that was what was due to her.
Would I be wrong if I would say you instructed them to help Makubu in that way? You requested.
Look, please, can we stop?
Ask case, darling. Ask case.
Keeping us here. I'm not prepared to sit here and say this policeman's good, that policeman's bad.
No, I want, because you said it on record that Mkhwanazi is not a good police and the other. So I just want to identify whether, because if a police officer doesn't give you information, to me it seems as if they don't give you information, they are not deemed to be good police.
That's not what I'm basing on. I'm basing my judgment of Mkhwanazi on what his police have said after they were arrested. They were dismissed for no good reason. The language he used towards them, if it was correct, they got their jobs back with arbitration. They did not even get a hearing. It was a legal dismissal. Arbitration put them back in, and he sent them away again. He wasn't allowed to because he wasn't supposed to take it on review. So he doesn't really act in all the interests of some of his policemen. But, he is also, and I put this in it. And all I want is somebody to ask him. It's in my, there's a police note that he interrupted the arrest of a convicted drug dealer.
You know, Danny, let me interject. My worry. Let me interject, Danny. Let me interject. My worry is one. People who I seem to be associated with Minister Mkhunu, all of them, their characters is now questionable, and actually I'm questioning his judgment regarding that he took the advice from you of disbanding PKTT. Checking your character, I'm not convinced by your character. Hence, I'm saying even your qualifications, I'm starting to doubt them. That's why I'm going to ask.
And I'm not a
listen, Dan.
What are you doing?
With
police for 30 years and know what's allowed, what's not. Some of them have been management members.
So how come is it difficult for you to answer a simple question? How did you determine that Officer Makubu is good compared to Mkhwanazi?
Because I haven't heard any reports. I've heard about him not being, he may be for all I know, but I do know he's won cases. I do know that there's some that...
But we do agree that both of us, we now are maybe confused by the judgment of Minister Mkhunu that he relied on your letter. He also relied on General Sbiya, now Gabinde as well, if I may say. What does that say about Minister Mkhunu?
No, if he has. I don't know the whole story. All I've heard is parts of the story. How do we know? I'm not prejudging this. I'm staying right out of it as far as I can. And I'm sorry that my
Let me ask you this question so that we can finish. You said on the Sindiso Makaka, you said there was info leaked to the media, right? And
Yeah, there was. City Press.
Okay. And you said you know this because it was not leaked by you. Now, does that mean you can separate between what was leaked by you versus what was not leaked by you?
I keep stuff confidential if people tell me.
Okay, I'm talking about leaking of information, police information, if I may say.
I mean, look, I respond, I will say, look, police are alleging this, can you maybe ask questions? You know, they're saying they can't pay their informants. In fact, I didn't go to the media about that. There was an article about this very thing in the media. I think it was, I've forgotten who it was, but where the whole thing is in the media, and it wasn't me. I can you leak stuff to the media if I wanted, and I haven't.
Have you leaked anything to the media?
No. I mean, look, what have I done?
You're not sure, eh? When was the last time you leaked something? Okay, when was the last time you leaked something to the media?
I don't talk about confidential material. I might say there are allegations that informants aren't getting.
Okay, Manakoko. When was the last time you leaked information to the media?
Look.
Koko, 1 plus 1. Okay, Koko, let's make it simple. Koko, let's make it simple. 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's how simple I want us to make it.
No.
When was the last time you leaked to media?
I've done nothing with this matter.
No. I'm not talking about.
I've sent is
any
other media.
It's
a general question.
Okay, Koko.
I mean, I don't give confidential information out.
But Koko, you say here, regarding the Makaka matter, info was leaked to the police. You know this because it was not leaked by you.
No, it was not leaked by me.
Yeah.
It was shared information.
How did you know it was not leaked by you? How did you know it was not leaked by you?
Because I'd never spoken to the media about it.
About it. Have you spoken to the media about any other thing else, leaking them information?
Look, how do I know what you're talking about unless you can give me specifics? I don't. Look, please, Mr. Draper, we stop this. It's becoming a witch hunt, and I'm losing my temper.
Let me respectfully step down, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Shaw. Dr. De Haas. Dr. De Haas. You know, an elder has 2 hearts. The other heart is an overflow. Yes. When you say I'm losing my temper in this parliament, we get worried. So thank you so much, Honorable Shongwe. Thank you so much, Doctor. Can we no, I'm no longer taking any follow-ups. Yeah. Let's do this, Doctor. In the letter that you wrote on the 31st of October, on paragraph number 2, I see you use compulsive words there.
What did I say? Sorry, paragraph 2. Was this my letter?
Yeah.
The one that I sent in October?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back to it.
In the first sentence, you are using the word that the word instruct, that the minister must instruct.
That I wrote.
The National Commissioner, SAPS, to immediately disband the irregularly constituted, unnecessary, and wasteful political killing task team. And then in the second sentence, you say, the National Commissioner must immediately stop the deployment of General Khumalo, who heads crime intelligence services, to this task team, which he did not have the qualifications and experience to command in the first place? Do you know General Khumalo, Dr. Dihas? General Dumisani Khumalo?
I know he was operational response and not detectives. And to have, I mean, that was my argument. He's not a detective and he's basically running the team.
And do you know how long he has been in the SAPS?
He's been there since the 1990s, as I understand it. I'm not sure exactly when. It could be worked out, I suppose, in terms of his age and when he would have trained.
So when
it was the 1980s. Yeah, he was in the police.
So when you say 1980s, do you want to mean early 80s or late 80s?
I think he must have been trained in the first part of the 80s.
Okay.
I mean, hang on a sec, wait a minute. Where was he? Yeah, because he was in the KwaZulu police when it was formed, and that was 87. So he may have transferred there. As I said, I don't know where he did his training. I think he's in his 50s now, approximately.
And
so
do you know when he was appointed or promoted to the senior management position in the SAPS?
I don't know. He was a brigadier before he was promoted to general. He was a brigadier when he first went to be a project manager. And he was about that time, I think he was promoted to general. But I don't know.
When was it that he was promoted to the senior manager?
It was around the time the task team was set up, which would have been around 2018.
That was the time he became a brigadier?
No, he became a general. He was a brigadier then.
When did he become a brigadier?
Was that not in Mkhwanazi's evidence? Because he spoke of...
No. I'm asking you questions.
I'm not sure when he became a brigadier. I think he might have been around the time he went to crime intelligence.
When was he appointed a brigadier, to the rank of a brigadier?
I don't have the.
You don't know.
No, but I think he was a brigadier. Look, it may be in the records I've got. He may have been referred to, and I don't know if Mkhwanazi referred to.
Now you are unable now to tell us when General Khumalo was appointed a brigadier in the SAPS.
Yes, but all I know is that he's never been reported to be a detective.
Then what is Brigadier Khumalo's highest qualification?
I don't know. I mean, and I think as we talk, I mean, everybody's going on about verifying my qualifications, but surely...
No. We are,
but I mean, I don't know what his qualifications
are. We are asking about Brigadier Khumalo's highest qualification, not you.
It's on record.
That one was your matter between you and Skosan.
Yeah.
And then is Brigadier Khumalo the only official that you know who was working in the PKTT?
Well, he was. I knew him as running the admin and
the PKTT.
Okay, yeah. The reporting line. It was initially him, and it was the local person was a brigadier in the Hawks. Reporting to Mkhwanazi to report.
Yes, so in that PKTT, because it was a team, if you may estimate how many people might have been in that team, how many police officials might have been in the PKTT?
Well, we have the figures that were announced at the launch of it in the media article. But we don't know the ranks of all of them, do we? And I mean, what I was told was that there was a specific brigadier in charge of them, or inspecting dockets.
That's exactly
when he left.
That's exactly the question I'm asking.
Yeah.
if you may estimate how many officials could have been in the PKTT.
Well, all I know is the number that was officially given by Clearly.
Yeah. What did he say is the number?
I think he said it was 120 something.
120,
including the ones that
you can just say over 100.
Yeah, no, it's in that media article.
In that number of over 100 officials, do you know of the qualifications and experience of any of them, except Kumar?
I've heard about quite a few of them. I've heard of them, and most of them, there are a few lieutenant colonels, I think. And these are the ones they say were not permanent.
Yeah.
And I've heard of most of them have been captains, sergeants. I haven't heard of another more senior detective who's there permanently in the structure.
I'm not talking about their rank. I'm talking about their academic qualifications.
I'm not privy to the police records. All I can hear.
You don't have that information.
This one's a captain. That one's this one. Or yeah.
So when you wrote this sentence that General Khumalo did not have the qualifications and experience, without you having checked on the rest of the over 100 officials who formed part of the PKTT.
Because I had never.
Do you think that you are fair in such an assertion?
Well, I tried to find out about a senior detective, and I did not after the brigadier left.
What I'm saying,
and I couldn't find anyone.
You as a senior citizen.
Yeah.
Well, remember when we started here, I said to you that you are our Friesland or our Jesse. That is where we must tap wisdom. You are a repository, according to my understanding, a person of your advanced age. There is a team here of over 100 police officials. And then you just single out Khumalo and say, this person is not suitably qualified, does not have the requisite experience. What about the many other officers who are in that team? Did you check their suitability?
I checked some of them.
Some of them?
Yeah. I mean, how could I? I didn't know who they all were. They were there 1 minute and they'd gone. So there was no permanent structure, it seemed to me. And the only people whose names were mentioned as giving instructions were Khumalo.
So if we were to look at this objectively, and one comes to the conclusion that you targeted Khumalo, will it be a fair statement to make to you, to say Dr. Dihas targeted Khumalo in the whole team of the PKTT that was sent to KwaZulu-Natal? That is why you are able to write, not on one page. If we go to the second page, you still talk about Dr. Khumalo, General Khumalo. And then you even go to an extent of saying that you don't even trust that he's a credible police official.
Because he's not a detective, he's operational response. That's why. And so was this other man who was seconded, operational response. And so is Masemola, who is a buddy of both Khumalo and Mkhwanazi from years ago. I mean, Masemola was in this province as Deputy Provincial Commissioner. I dealt with him then. And he took no action when I told him there was paramilitary training up at Nongoma. Did nothing. And he was Deputy Provincial Commissioner. But that's where they all know each other from their operational response days.
Let me ask you the last question. Because when you made your oral presentation, you said to us that, and you considered here after members probed you, you said that you concede that some of the evidence that you deposed in your statement has not been verified.
I've agreed to that.
And when you sent it to the authorities, you wanted them to verify and maybe even come back and report to say the things that you raised with us, this is how we process them, correct?
Sorry, the things I tried to put together my explanation for doing it. I had spoken to people, I'd got their description of what happened to their cases. That was all on record.
Yeah.
And I was, what happened then was, after I said that I was really concerned because of, as I said, all I was getting, no mention, and this was my problem all along when they started, and I tried to get a sense of exactly who was running it. It was almost impossible, but that's not the way it should be.
That's exactly what I'm saying, that having gathered this information that could be inconclusive or incomplete or unverified, why, when you wrote to the minister, you did not say to him, or when you wrote to Parliament, you did not say to them, I request, instead of saying, I request that you instruct the police commissioner to immediately disband. Why didn't you say, I request that we further investigate these allegations because I do not have conclusive evidence?
Well, I could have done that, but I think that it was the sheer horror of what I was hearing.
We further investigate these allegations, determine their veracity, and then where appropriate action is necessary, the authorities can see how they deal with this.
I didn't do that because it had been going on for 6 years with very little results that were verified in terms of media. Well, we've got these successes. They'd been going when I wrote that letter for 6 years. And in terms of the number of people who died in the province, there was very little to show for it. So I thought enough is enough. I'm hearing horror stories about fabricated evidence, all people independently saying the same thing. The illegal actions, why have we got this team? I'm hearing about all the expenses, the NIU running away with them.
So you did not request that those allegations be investigated?
Because I did say an inquiry into them, I think, as well. I wanted an inquiry into them. So I said disband and inquire. What's my heading here?
You said
of the body to investigate the task team and cases related matters. Yeah, I wanted it disbanded and an investigation.
Immediate disbandment.
Yeah.
It's not investigation.
But why keep a team like this when it's not when it's just such a, I mean, it's a team that is just so opaque, if you want to say that. There's no clear structure. It's been going for 6 years. Okay. It's obvious they're spending a lot of money. We had provincial teams that were good. Okay. Why are we keeping it? It makes no sense to me.
When you say the deployment of General Khumalo must be stopped, is that an established practice in the public service that you can just act willy-nilly the way you say it without following procedure? Stop it immediately. Is that how?
Well, if the team is disbanded, he had no role there if his role was project manager. Because at this stage...
That's exactly what I'm saying, is that how rash decisions are taken in the public service.
Well, the public service, there's all sorts of strange decisions taken, and people are suspended for years without anything happening on full pay.
Okay. You have not answered to the question.
Oh, sorry, why did I not? You say, why did I not?
Is that the practice in the public service that a political head or an administrative head can just be instructed to act like that?
Well, he'd been deployed, but he wasn't. What I was told, and the Honourable James says otherwise, I was told that it was a deployment from another fixed position. So you weren't moving him out of his position, you were just moving the deployment to project manager, the task team. You're not moving him, shuffling him around in the police itself. If the information I'd been given that he was still based in ORS was correct, you're just saying that he must move if the task team. If I'm asking you to expand,
Dr. De Haas has said that stop this deployment, and the minister must do it and go to a committee of parliament and say the reason why General Khumalo was stopped was because I was instructed by Dr. De Haas to do it. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Listen, we are investigating.
No.
We are investigating interference.
Yeah. Well, it was a request. Most of my requests ignored.
You are using the word must. You are not requesting.
Oh, I must. Yes, he must. Because if the task team was disbanded, then he should go anyway, shouldn't he? I don't know.
Okay.
More or less, anyway. I mean,
the last is what Honourable Nhlanhla referred you to, that there is a principle that when you hear a story on one side, you must also verify it on the other. Audi alteram partem principle in law.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
So there are families that have lost their loved ones.
Yes.
When you talk about these political killings, you talk about human beings who have lost their lives.
Absolutely.
And their families have not closed these chapters.
And
I want to know, because you say you are a researcher, in your research work, have you ever chosen some of these families as participants for observation?
I'm in touch with them. I haven't. Look, let me just explain.
It's
not a formal research project. It's a human rights intervention. I deal with a lot of families who want closure.
Yes, I want to know, did you check with any of those families to hear how they feel about the letter you were about to write?
Well, the letter I was writing referred specifically to cases that I had.
The PKTT is investigating cases that involve families that have lost their children.
Well,
and then you write a letter to say this task team must be disbanded without those families having got relief that is sought in law.
But the detectives are still
I want to check with you whether you were able to check with these families, how do they feel about the performance of the PKTT?
Well, I've heard from them. I mean, one of the reasons that money was raised was for the Magaka family because they're fed up with sitting there for nothing happening with the political killings team taking over when there was a sign of hope initially. And that was why the money was raised to pay a lawyer to get the hitman to tell the story for the family, and the family were very grateful. I wasn't to say they weren't to investigate, they were just to go to proper detective units.
Yeah, but
keep
the point that I want to get to is, don't you feel that your action obstructed those families from getting justice?
But why would it if the same detective just moved to another unit?
You say that you are a human rights activist, isn't it? Families are sitting here, they want to get justice because they have lost their loved ones. And then a team that has been appointed to investigate those cases, you say it must be disbanded. If one of those family members say, we could not get justice because of the actions of Dr. Mary de Haas, what is your response?
I would want to say what was the basis on which they said it if the very same cases are still being investigated and if they've got to the stage they're in court. The disbandment of the team is not going to impact on that. It's just going to put all the detectives back in the proper units, which are headed by detectives of a nature of, say, a brigadier.
As a justice activist, after gathering this information, incomplete, inconclusive as it was, why didn't you forward it, for instance, to the Human Rights Commission and say, there is this evidence that I gathered, but I may not have the capacity to investigate it further. And I don't want to create a wrong impression to government that the PKTT is unnecessary, is wasteful, is unable to live up to its mandate. Why didn't you go to the Human Rights Commission and say, investigate this matters further?
Well, I'm sorry to say this. I've had really bad experience of the Human Rights Commission not doing anything. So, that's why I didn't go.
So you say your attitude towards them is more about bias?
Look, I've been to the Human Rights Commission. I begged them to look at what was happening in Glebelands. They wouldn't touch it. Somebody in the Gender Commission wrote to them and said, I've done what I can for the women in Glebelands. Will you please investigate it? They didn't. I've sent them reports. I gave them a report on torture. They asked me to give it to them, and they did nothing about it. So I thought it would probably sit there. I mean, in one case, when I asked them to do something, it became, well, what do you expect us to do? I said, I've asked you to do this. It's about illegal land invasions, and here are all the court papers. What more can I do? And that was the end of it. I mean, I'm sorry, but it didn't even occur to me because I've had no joy at all out of the Human Rights Commission.
The many withdrawals that you have made from your statement today and your oral presentation, are you not worried that might have been damaging to your reputation, especially amongst your peers?
No, I mean, what withdrawals did I make except to concede that for you it's hearsay evidence and a couple of mistakes in the grammar of things? I mean, I never pretended that I was telling you anything that it was myself who knew and has not been verified. Nowhere have I done that. I'm giving you information that was told to me independently and are saying the same sorts of things about abuses and fabrication. And it came on the end of other complaints I've been having over the years about cases, etc., and the opacity of the fact that there was no proper oversight of this team. It came as a result of that. There's nothing in here that I don't stand by, unless there's a few things like, for example, that I could have worded differently, you know, about the political killings team, when I should have said that it happened after they took it over, that the cases were withdrawn when they had been in court. And I don't know the reasons for it. But I must also tell you that I was given very short notice to put everything together. I can't just drop everything. I'd just come back from working flat out on other commitments I had, including about land issues and a conference. Thought I was going to catch up. And then I got computer things that took me much longer. And you wanted all the documentation. I had to look out, send everything I could. But then I had to somehow, within a very short space of time, put it together in an affidavit. So I stand by the content of my affidavit. I'm saying the wording in place. I concede that obviously it's hearsay. I've made it clear, and I only put that part about intelligence in because I was specifically asked to. And I've made it clear that these are allegations I don't know. But what I do know is that there's been no proper oversight of intelligence since because when the Mkhwanazi report said it's urgent, it took 6 years to get the legislation through and only signed into law this year. So we don't know what's going on in intelligence. So I was very concerned about that. I put it in because I was specifically asked to do so. All I could speak about was really my experience with the task team. And I've done that, and I've conceded that for you it's hearsay because I'm saying it.
Thank you so much. I think I must not ask further questions. Let me check with the SC. If you have questions that you want to ask.
Thank you. Mr. Hunt, you must be quite disappointed that the PKTT is still in existence and that Lieutenant General Khumalo is still the project leader and General Mkhwanazi playing a prominent role in it.
They have moved back to their bases, most of them, but the cases they're handling are in court still. As I said, it didn't affect the families of cases. They're still dealing. There are, even if you look at that list that I had on Mkhwanazi's statement, they've got a whole list of cases that are still in court. So it just means they're situated somewhere else doing those cases, presumably with a detective team. I know that some of them, because I've asked police at different areas.
I just asked you for a yes or no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because we also heard that they have additional cases. I think 9 new additional cases.
I hadn't followed that up, I must admit.
And we also...
Yeah, I am disappointed if they've been given new cases, indeed.
So to the extent that the decision to disband the PKTT is attributed to you and your letter to the minister, erstwhile minister of 24 October 2024, it didn't quite pan out like that, did it?
Sorry,
I say it didn't quite work out like that, to the extent that the decision by Minister Mkhunu to disband the PKTT is somehow attributed to you, and the letter you wrote to him on the 24th of October didn't quite work out like that.
Well, I mean, I had no indication whatsoever that I would take the blame for it. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, I think initially there were excuses found to delay it, and that was agreed they could handle cases. But certainly, if they were new cases, I don't know why. But I mean, the other serious thing, and I've written to the new minister about it, is that, and I think I put it in, I may have added it, that at the moment there are serious allegations that there's an attempt to move the current Deputy Provincial Commissioner for Detectives, to force him out, to put in charge another man who's operational response, in charge of detectives. But I can't deal with that. I'm just passing the information on to the new minister to ask Masemola about it.
The acting minister did appear before this honourable committee just last week, I think, a short while ago, and certainly was not opposed to the existence of the PKTT and continuing their good work.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't follow that last week. I'm just so busy with other things that I don't have time to sit and listen to everything, so I've missed a lot of it. Yeah.
Did you also miss the fact that despite your complaints, which I catalogued certainly from your affidavit from October 2021, when you wrote to General Mkhwanazi about General Khumalo, and then subsequently in your affidavit before us today, and in letters, the letter to Minister Mkhunu on the 31st of October, your follow-up letter of the 13th of November 2024, it seems to be all about Khumalo. But the fact of the matter is, he's still in charge of the PKTT. Is there something wrong with him or something wrong with you?
Well, I don't know why a man who's an operational response man should be in charge of the political killings team. I don't understand it.
Well,
and I mean, that's all I can say, basically.
You are also here today to assist us.
Yeah, I'm trying. But
with your expertise in this field, you've been in this field for 40 years. Now, we hear, and it's surprising that there's no reference by you to the appearance before the senior police management, together with Minister Mkhunu at the time on the 5th of March. They appeared before the Portfolio Committee on Police.
I saw reference, I have seen reference to
there
that.
was a subsequent meeting on the 27th of March. There were submissions made by General Masemola to extend the team and for an additional budget. There was also a counter submission by General Sabia, and yet the team remains in place. Lieutenant General Khumalo actually made the presentation for the PKTT before the Portfolio Committee on the 5th of March. So clearly, our National Commissioner doesn't have any problems with someone you say is an operational person and who's not a detective being the head of this team. It wasn't General Mkhwanazi, it was General Masemola.
Yeah, but they're old working relationship. They're very close, the three of them. They went off and did rhino poaching duties together, and so they're old colleagues, and of course they'll support each other. That's the way it works.
So why that's called teamwork? What's wrong with, is it something sinister about these three working together?
Well, if they're doing detective work, I think it is.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Ms. Dan.
Thank you so much, honorable members, Dr. De Haas and the staff.
Point of order, Chair. You can't continue calling Ms. De Haas doctor. We agreed and she agreed. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, no.
I didn't buy my doctorate anyway. And I can tell you some people do. They have it ghost written for them.
Dr. De Haas.
I'm with you there, Danny. I'm with you.
Sorry.
Dr. De Haas. The University of Rhodes has recognized you with an honorary.
Yes, you
doctorate.
Yes, I can confirm that.
Okay.
You can have a copy of the letter if you wish.
In terms of practice, you are called a doctor when you are within the premises of the university that has conferred that doctorate to you. And when you come out of the premises, it's not compulsory to be addressed as a doctor.
No.
But it does not mean that you may not be addressed as a doctor. Yeah, but it's not compulsory. It's not like a person who has done a PhD.
You better But you
We want to thank you so much for the time that you spent with us today, especially a citizen of advanced age like yourself. The last session has been longer than normal because we went for about 4 hours without a break, but nevertheless, we want to thank you so much. Honorable members, we have approved a timetable last week, and then the legal team called me and requested that there should be some amendments. And then I agreed to them. I said, we will bring those amendments to the committee for ratification because they had to do work and schedule witnesses. So in terms of the schedule for this week, tomorrow, Mr. Cedric Nkabinde will come back. The proceedings are at Good Hope Chambers. And then the head of procurement at the SAPS, Lieutenant General Dimpane Fani, will be coming on Thursday. So there was also another proposal that General Musikidi must come on Friday. And the chief whip has informed me during break that he engaged with you. And then the general feeling amongst yourselves is that because the statement is only less than 10 pages, we will do Lieutenant General Msikidi and Lieutenant General Dimpane on Tuesday in Pretoria next week. And then the following day on Wednesday will be Mr. Matala, Wednesday and Thursday and probably Friday, depending on whether we are unable to finish on those days. Can I check if honorable members ratify this proposal? Honorable Nomvalo.
No, Chair, on behalf of the MK Party, we just want to confirm that indeed the chief whip of the ANC engaged us during lunch, and we agreed to his proposal. We think that, but our proposition, Chair, was that we take witnesses for Friday back to Thursday. We combine them on Thursday, both of them, because their statements are not are not big. They are very small, so we can do them on one day. But if we do the other on Tuesday, we don't have a problem. For as long as we're not going to schedule for one day each witness with a very small testimony, we don't have a problem. So we agree, Chair. But also, we said that we would like to put it to you, Chair, or to request rather, that we must consider not closing with everybody. We must push at least to the first or second week of December. So we must persuade staff members to bear with us, because we don't want a situation where this committee dies, or its significance rather, dies a natural death because of unjustifiable delays and requests for extensions. So if we can push, because we did make an undertaking when we were starting here, that we are ready to even work on weekends. I can see that now people are making all sorts of excuses. But we are ready as the MK Party, and we are persuading members. And if there are arrangements that
must be made for staff members. They must be made now. Arrangements of, I don't know, with HR. But that is a kind plea that we want to put to the committee. Thank you very much.
Let me just understand the witnesses of Friday, because we are now left with 2 days. It will be, tomorrow is Wednesday. It will be Mr. Nkabinde tomorrow. And then Thursday is the head of procurement is General Fani. So General Musikiri was supposed to be coming on Friday. So in terms of the proposal is that because General Dimpane is coming next week, Tuesday, and their statements are smaller, like you say, both of them would be done on Tuesday next week before the appearance of Mr. Nhlanhla. So it means Friday, there is not going to be any activity in terms of the proposal that the Chief Whip is making.
No, we don't have a problem, Chair.
Okay. Any other comment? Agreed, we are coming to that. And the second matter, honorable members, I have requested Bonani that they must circulate those public submissions with yourselves. Because if we go to a meeting and they are presented one by one without you having gone through them, the meeting may take us the whole day. So for us to have a business-like meeting, it will be good that they circulate those submissions with yourselves. We will check your traveling times on Monday and then decide when to slot a meeting on that Monday before, so that we can deal with those public submissions and determine how they must be processed going forward. And then probably next week, I mean the week that we are in Pretoria, we may have to look at how we conclude the other activities the way Honorable Nomvalo is suggesting. If we can work until the end of the first week or the second week of December, let's think about it and see which are the witnesses. I think the legal team will also advise on the possibility of consultations and other logistics that they may have to get into, so that we have some few witnesses in the first week or the first 2 weeks of December. Agreed? Yeah, SC.
Chair, for tomorrow for Nkabinde, can I just request through you that the honourable members bring the original Nkabinde statement? Because
Yes.
this evening, while we were sitting here, we received what they now call a supplementary statement, which is not the same.
It has been circulated to the member. It's a supplementary statement. And we also expect you tomorrow when we start, because I'm going to announce that we start at 11 o'clock. We also expect from you that you don't start afresh. You continue from where we left off. No. Remember that the part of the mistakes we agreed on it that we don't recognize it. So tomorrow, when we resume, it's just a continuation. And then, so that we don't spend a lot of time on evidence. And SC, I'm not saying that you must half-bake your processes, but the general feeling amongst members now is that we are halfway in our process, and most of the information that appears before the committee is now a repetition. But that does not mean that when you lead evidence, you must just rush very quickly to conclude. But the members' request is that you must be mindful that having listened to key witnesses that appeared before us, except those others that may have to come, maybe Mr. Julius Mkhwanazi, General Dumisani, Kumalo, Brown Mkhwanazi, who else? Paulo Sullivan. Those that have come before us already, it has been a merry-go-round. Just mind the pun when I say merry-go-round. Yeah, I think that is the plea that the members are making. So tomorrow when we start at 11, the expectation should be that somewhere around 13 hours or 1 hour when we come back from the break, we should conclude the evidence so that members can start asking questions. Does it make sense, SC? Do you agree with that? Okay. Thank you so much. Honorable members, I want to thank you so much. Tomorrow, we are starting at Honorable Skosana.
Okay. Chair, just a quick question. Can you ask Tani, does she know Honorable Julius Malema? Because I see he's not here today.
Hey,
You missed the CIC.
no, Matthijs, don't respond. I want to close the meeting. Just if there is anything that you should say is, if there is anything that you should say is say, Chair, when are you closing the meeting? Honorable members, the meeting is adjourned. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock, Good Hope Chambers. Thank you so much. Yeah.
No, it's okay, but I think it's being okay, well, I think force, I think. I would go in ask. No, this is some of the listen. With yeah, for none. Legally legal.